Hi everyone, it's Delusion Dispeller. I am back again. I do need to put this on YouTube, so give me just a moment. One moment. Make sure that it's streaming where it's supposed to be streaming and all that good stuff. And make sure I shut my voice off this time so we don't have an echo like the last time. Anyway, it is time for the Goal Gainers group that we do hopefully every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes with a break in between. But why? Okay, there we go. I don't know, something's wrong with my computer or whatever, but I keep freezing all of a sudden. If we have that worst case scenario where this doesn't decide to work, I will end up just doing an upload. Now we're freezing again. There must be a lot of people online right now at the same time I am. That's probably what's going on. Anyway, so I'm hoping we get a few people in here so I don't have to repeat things over and over again. But if I don't, I will just say what I have to say, come and do what I need to do, and head on off. All right, so we're going to be talking about something called group think tonight. We've heard this in the sense of people coming into chat rooms and ganging up on people in a group, or sometimes just all discussing the same thing and going along with the other people, even though maybe they don't exactly agree with them. It's called group think, but group think also influences the way we eat, believe it or not. We're going to talk a little bit about this right now. So, it's a known fact that decisions and determinations are stronger when it comes to people coming together as a group. You may not feel a certain way about a certain something, but then you get in with a group of people that all seem to be going with the same flow, and pretty soon you find yourself agreeing with things that beforehand you didn't quite agree with. This is called groupthink. Strength in numbers is another way to put it. A group decision seems to be firmer than an individual decision, which is why a lot of times people will go with the crowd instead of try to assert their own opinions on things. We go along because everyone's doing it. Where really everyone isn't doing it, but it seems like the everyone's we're around are doing it. So we don't want to feel left out. We don't want to feel like the squeaky wheel or the sore thumb that sticks out among all the rest. We don't want the limelight shining only on us as being the one to think differently. Hey, G. Marie. So we go along because everyone's doing it. If others tend to agree with somebody's view, like say we had a chat room going on a certain subject and somebody new came in and said, "Hey, what about this?" And a couple people said, "Hey, yeah, what about that?" And all of a sudden, most of the room is agreeing with that person, even though beforehand they were talking totally opposite. This is known as group think. It's very influential. If others tend to agree with your view, you tend to stick to your view more strongly. I notice this about myself, especially as a creator of YouTube channels, and YouTube videos. When someone comes in the comments and says, "Hey, way to go, Dee Dee, we like what you said here. This was really good. Congratulations, good job." I tend to feel stronger about what I'm doing. I feel better about it because I have people being positive about it. Of course, I think we all kind of feel like that. The hard thing is when you're doing the wrong thing and people are backing you. Because a lot of times when we're doing something wrong, we look for people that will back us up in what we're doing and say, "Well, yeah, you had a right to feel that way. I understand why you're eating that stuff. I mean, everybody's got to eat a treat once in a while." While meanwhile, you're sabotaging your eating plan, but everybody else is, "It's okay, honey. Everybody makes mistakes. You just had a down day." You get too many of those people, and pretty soon you're off of your target. You're not heading towards your goals. So it can be a positive thing, but it can also be a negative thing. We can tend to stay hidden and unanimous in groups. That's very common. A lot of times people come into a chat room and kind of sit in the bleachers and not say anything. Or they'll say one or two comments, but they really don't make themselves known because it's easier to just kind of stay anonymous and stay hidden. It's the safe way of doing things. A lot of times we do that instead of speaking up for ourselves, and we find out that we're very intimidated by other people. When decisions are helpful, they won't cause any problems. Yet it's important to always be able to express your individual view or opinion on a certain subject as well. This will eliminate people and situations sabotaging your diet plan and yourself sabotaging your diet plan by going around along with other people even though you don't agree with them. Okay. So one of two things we can do. We can disagree agreeably with somebody and say, "Hey, I don't agree with that. I don't believe in eating animals." Like me, for instance, I've asserted my view on that lately. I don't agree with eating animals. I think it's cruel to kill animals. I think it's cruel to eat animals, and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Also, asking questions gently. Maybe somebody comes in and says, "Well, I've been a carnivore all my life. I'm a hunter. I love deer meat. What do you mean you don't eat animals? Why don't you eat animals?" Well, for me personally, it's a healthier choice for me. I feel better now that I don't eat them anymore. I feel better ethically. I feel better physically. So that person came and posed a gentle question to me. Well, what do you mean? Explain why, your reasoning behind that. A lot of times it's not that we question things, it's how we go about questioning things. And I am guilty as charged of losing my cool with people that question me. I don't handle questioning very well. I don't know how to answer a lot of questions. And then I feel not really foolish, but I'm afraid I'm going to lash out. I'm afraid. Why does this thing keep sticking on me here? Hold on a minute. Open or something. I'm not sure. Okay. Till my face starts moving on the screen again because I keep freezing. I'll keep doing that every time I freeze. Anyways, I tend to get very testy when people question me because, first of all, I'm pretty much the type of person that likes to just be left alone to do my thing. When people question it, then I feel like I have to come up with an answer, and I might not come up with the right answer. I might not come up with an answer they approve of or accept, and that makes me a little nervous. So I'd rather just not get into the conversation to begin with. That's just me. Now, maybe you're the type of person you thrive on controversy or debates. I don't. I don't like them. They make me uncomfortable. I would rather just kind of like what Hillary said earlier today. If you don't have something nice to say to me, don't say anything. Because I don't feel like having to constantly explain myself and prove myself and defend my stand, if you will. I'd rather just put it out there, and then if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then go find something you do like, kind of. All right. And maybe Matthew would say, well, that proves that you're autistic. And maybe I am. And maybe that's why I don't like it. I don't know. I just know I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Group thinking can cause you to feel differently than you did about things. We talked about that earlier already today. Like foods, for instance. Maybe I would, thank you, Hillary. Maybe I would go into a chat room, for instance, and I don't know. Okay, here's a prime example. There are certain beliefs that before coming into a chat room, I might not adhere to. They might be supporting a person that has a certain belief in there that I don't agree with. But I'll go into the chat room and I'll sit and I'll listen and I'll watch and I'll think, yeah, they made some valid points there. Okay, I guess I can be a little more open minded about this. I guess I can accept this a little bit more. That's what I mean. Group thinking can cause you to think differently than you did before. So, if a whole group is in there supporting a certain belief system, it might cause me to look into it a little bit more and not be so quick to say, well, I'm against that. I'm totally against that. I don't want to hear anything about that. That type of thing. Okay, group thinking can also cause emotions, various emotions. They can cause you to feel guilty, full of stress, anxious, or even comfortable and happy. Sometimes a group band together can cause an emotion in you that you weren't expecting. about a certain topic. Maybe somebody would come in here tonight and say, hey, I never thought about groups influencing my eating choices. This is really interesting. I think I'll sit and listen some more. Maybe there's somebody in the bleachers right now doing that. I don't know. And if you are, welcome. Um, Group thinking can result in you making new decisions about your food choices or about other choices. Like, what are you going to do next? And when are you going to do it? And who are you going to do it with? We're talking mostly about food, but this can apply to many different things. Hi, Wonderful. It can apply to anything, really. It's going to cause you to think a little bit differently about the what, the who, the when, the where, the why that you're doing things. Maybe you're just coasting through life and you never really thought about, hey, why did I grab that extra handful of chips? I really wasn't hungry for it. Maybe it's just because it looked good. Maybe because I saw that advertisement on TV. Maybe because my neighbor came over and she had chips in her hand, so I had to have chips. It causes you to think about your reactions and your actions when there's something being done in a group or even by another person. I guess we're kind of almost talking about a little bit of peer pressure here, too. That plays into your food choices as well and your other choices. Unfortunately, hi, Donna, I see you. Donna Bologna, you wrote me. I see you now. I don't know why your comments were not showing up on my channel, but I'm very glad they are now, and I see you, and I'm acknowledging you, just so you know. And thank you for watching, and welcome. Yay, I know. I'm happy too. So groupthink can cause you to violate your goals sometimes. People tend to like put their arms around you, and maybe not now during this situation of the health crisis, but normally people, even figuratively, will put their arms around you and say, oh, it's okay, so you gain 10 pounds, you'll take it off. A lot of that is helpful, and then some of it is like, yeah, but I really sabotaged myself this week, and I what I really need to hear is, hey, it's okay. Let's talk about, what do you think caused this? What can you do differently this week? That's where Noom comes in. They're fantastic with that stuff. If they see you gain a couple pounds, they never say, "Oh, you terrible person. What the heck did you go and eat that ice cream sundae for? You knew that would wreck your diet goals." They come along and say, "Hey, I see you're struggling with such and such. Have you thought about what your goal is for this week? Do you have any idea of, what you can do to take off a pound this week?" Or they'll gently talk to you and ask you gentle questions. They're great about that. I have the best Noom coach. I really like her a lot. She's super nice. Her name's Stephanie, and she's been great with me regarding that. I never felt condemned. I never felt put down or defeated or anything. That's probably why I'm down to 192 pounds. All right, from 200.1 pounds. I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this. I call this the feed, physique, and propaganda. So let's talk about when people feed you this comment. These are different things people are going to say to you along the way to your weight loss goals. All right. You're not going to eat that. You'll never lose weight eating those. That's too high in carbs. And yes, I've been guilty of saying these things too. These are things that I call the feed comments. These are things where people are noticing what you're putting in your mouth. Anything and everything you put in your mouth, somebody's going to have something to say about it. And I am fully prepared when I go home to the next holiday or get together and I'm not eating animal products. Somebody's going to have something to say about it. Well, how do you get your protein? That can't be healthy. They're always going to have something to say. So I'm prepared for it. And I've got some comebacks for it too. Then there's the physique comment. Oh, that's going to make you fat. Man, you're gaining a little weight there, Laura, aren't you? Like my grandfather used to say, putting on a few pounds, huh? You need to eat. You're so skinny. Aren't you afraid of being anorexic? That kind of stuff. So it goes either way. Those are the physique comments. Then there's the propaganda comments. Somebody that has read, has heard, has learned. My ex-husband was real good at this. Well, I read the other day in the paper that keto causes ketoacidosis and you can die from that. So you need to stay away from everything keto. Or didn't you hear that keto is bad for you? Or on the flip side, I've been eating keto and I took off so much weight so quickly. You need to try keto. That's going to be excellent for you. Or you need to be fasting and not eating after 4 hours. I've heard it all. And I'm not necessarily saying these comments are not legit, because some of them are. These are just random comments I'm talking about that you might hear along the way. You can handle them however you choose. A good thing to do is speak up in one of the following ways we're going to talk about, and then I'm going to open up the floor for Q&A, of course. So number 1, choose what's okay for you. You can say something like this: I appreciate your advice. What I'm doing is best for me. Number 2, choose the consequences. So let's talk about what's going on. Or, I'm interested in what you have to say. I really am. But I want you to know that what I'm doing for me right now is working best. And I've tried lots of things. They just weren't best for me. This is. So let me know how that thing works out for you. Or tell me more about this. I'm interested. I'm not saying I'll do it, but I am interested in hearing what you have to say. Or you can say, I'm happy with what I'm doing, especially if they're pushy. Happy with what I'm doing. And when you keep pressing that issue about eating animal products, it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel bad. And I'm going to have to get up and walk away because it's making me feel bad. So, and I really am very opposed to it. And it makes me sad to think that I'm eating a creature that used to be living. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But it's not right for me. So basically, you have to A, choose what's right for you, B, talk about the consequences, and C, don't roll your eyes at them. Don't say, oh God, here we go again. Please lay off of me. Ask gentle questions, request gently, and offer the, if you continue doing this, this is what I'm going to have to do. It's almost like dealing with a child in a way. But it tends to work for people if they go about it in a kind sort of way. So that's what I'm going to have to practice before the next family gathering, when they're all questioning why I'm not eating hot dogs and hamburgers that they're eating. What is the usual question? Oh, can't you just have a little piece of that? It won't hurt you. It's not a matter of it hurting me. It's a matter of, it was a living, breathing creature at one point, and I don't feel right about the fact that anybody killed it, and I definitely don't feel right about eating something that somebody killed. So for me, it's wrong. Okay, so that's that. I seem to have some kind of burnt something on my arm from cooking. All right. Anyhow, any questions, answers, opinions, viewpoints, whatever about all this? That's all I got tonight for the Through Thick and Thin Goal Gainers group. I do want to show you my progress so far in more ways than one. I'll be right back, though. Just a minute. I'll be right back, y'all. As soon as my phone works here. My phone sometime today. All right, so I'll wait for this to. Oh, now it's going to start booting up. Hang on. Okay, y'all, here we go. Aw, thank you, Donna. So I want to show you. I just took this picture now. I don't know if you can see it very well. This is my side view now. This is my front view now. Excuse the flood pants. That's what I look like now. So you can see it's working slowly but surely. And now I will show you the new progression. My weight graph. All right, y'all. So let's go all the way back to where I started, which was 200.1. You can see that hopefully. 200.1. Okay, following the progression. Here we go again. Right around here was when I stopped eating animal products, by the way, y'all. Whoops, sorry. 194.1. Yep. 192, 193. And this is today. There you go. So, not eating the animal products not only allows me not to partake in the murder of innocent creatures, but also helped me lose weight because it's less calories, it's less fat, especially saturated fat. So I am very happy to say it is progressing decently. I will be at that 190 mark soon and be doing a belly dance, Lord willing. Right now I'm having some trouble with my hip and my back. Not really sure what's going on, but I've been having a lot of pain in my left side. Now you have an eating carbs issue. Yeah, I know. You have to find that balance. I'm still kind of leaning towards heavier carbs right now, too. But I think if I can pull myself away from eating a lot of the packaged stuff and make my own, I'll do much better. So that's kind of something I'm going to be working on in April, is kind of only having the packaged stuff maybe twice a week and the rest of the time making my homemade stuff. Homemade greens, homemade bean burgers, stuff like that, instead of eating the packaged things, because that's where the carbs come in. And not eating a whole lot of the carbs, like the potatoes and things like that. It's just something you got to kind of feel through. You'll figure it out. I'll figure it out too. So anyway, that's all I had. Looking at some of these older comments. So are you saying that thanks, but mind your own darn business is not a good idea? Yes, Hillary, that's what I was saying. Although sometimes it's tempting, isn't it? Anyway, that Bobo cat is back. Matthew's been squirting him with water, and I don't have the heart to do that. So, I don't know. It's a hard situation. He's outside the door meowing and it's killing me. It makes you wish you never got close to an animal, because now this guy's animal's always going to be down here because we allowed him to think that this was his home. We didn't know. It's really hard. Anyway, that's all. That's all I have for now. Stay tuned for next week's Through Thick and Thin Goal Gainer Group, where we'll learn yet another interesting topic. All right, well, Matthew's sleeping, so. No, Matthew won't let me let him in because it's the other guy's cat. He keeps getting mad every time I let him in. He hollers at me. I was thinking of just taking him out and feeding him outside, maybe. Because he doesn't understand, The cat doesn't understand. It's just a hard situation. He's always been the other guy's cat, I know. And the other guy, the guy that owns him, doesn't care if he's down here. Matthew cares that he's down here. And he keeps telling me squirt him with water if he comes. And I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't treat an animal like that. Matthew's like, well, I'm not squirting him. I'm squirting near him. Still, you're telling a cat that you've befriended as your own that it's now not okay and you're not wanted. I can't do it. Matthew's concern is that that Bobo has been attacking the other cats. He's had him pinned down by the neck and stuff. Nonetheless, he's a predator. Cats are predators. It's what they do. I'm not saying it's right, but I just don't have the heart to squirt him or to send him away. And Matthew seems to have no issue. He's like, just picture the fact that he had your cats pinned down. You'd have to argue that with the owner, Hillary. I just hate being in this situation, honestly. It hurts my heart more than I can say. Anyway, I'm going to go for now. Probably going to go out and pet him and maybe feed him outside. Love y'all. God bless you. Thanks for hanging with me today. Well, he only lives down the street, Hillary, so he'd be stomping at my doorstep. I would, but that's not going to work for my own safety.